bienvenido a nuestro canal de YouTube. Qué bueno que estés interesado en ver este video. Tenemos muchos otros videos, todos traducidos. Algunos son contenido original nuestro, otros van a ser videos originales de GroovePages traducidos, ¿okay? Con subtítulos en español para tu conveniencia, de forma tal de que vas a poder conseguir toda una gama inmensa de información en nuestro canal. Te invitamos a que hagas clic en el botón de suscribirse, clic en el botón de las notificaciones, que es la campanita, y te invitamos adicionalmente a que formes parte de nuestro grupo de GroovePages en español en Facebook. Ese link de invitación lo vas a conseguir en los comentarios. Gracias, esperamos que disfrutes este video y que te suscribas a nuestro canal y que formes parte de nuestra comunidad de GroovePages en español en Facebook. Chao, disfrútalo y aprende mucho. Esperamos que aprendas mucho.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to today's video. I forgot to share my screen, but here we go. So welcome to another Friday video. And today I decided I want to be a bit creative. I want to show you certain things like how to start designing from scratch. Very, very simple sites, but you don't have to think about a lot. Like for creativity, you can just practice. You can also try to do the sites to be mobile responsive, just see how that works out and things like this. So it is a very, very simple site. It is one block, 2 text elements, and 2 buttons. It's very simple, but it is very powerful. I've seen a lot of these sites created by people that want to sell their domains, and this is where we will test this. I wanted to do this video because if somebody asked me what is the first thing I should build out with GroovePages, this is the video I would share with them, because it is very simple. It is very easy to follow. It is custom build, so we can also practice the mobile responsiveness. And I believe a lot of people need to practice the mobile responsiveness just to get in the flow of how to work with it. Even if you don't want to sell your domains, just please go through this video and try to follow it step by step. I will show you some tricks and tips how to do backgrounds, which could be interesting for a lot of people. But yes, this is my plan. So build out a page, a very simple one block page from scratch, so that you understand the elements, the blocks, the containers, the resizing, the mobile responsiveness. We'll also create a pop-up with a form, which is quite good. And this is where I suggest you to start in case you want to play with the builder, create things from scratch. But yeah, domain for sale is not a topic for everybody. I really, really love purchasing domains because this is something that there is only one in the world. If you purchase it, it is yours. And if it is like very original and very, I don't know, like if it's a very good domain, you can sell it for a lot of money. And creating a site on like what I will show you in a moment is only helping that. Basically, you purchase a domain that you found and you can sell it for a lot more money, like you are the reseller of the domain. For example, I purchased and I found a domain that was called luxurnia.com. Luxui luxur I will type it out, but luxurnia.com. Let me just type it out here. So luxurnia.com. Okay, it is very simple, very short, but I can sell this domain for $600-$800. I purchased it for $8, and it is for a luxury brand, for something that would work for somebody that is focusing on yachts or focusing on luxury bags or jewelry or things like this. But what I wanted to say is that if I create a page for it, domain for sale, and I sell the page with the domain, it increases the trust, increases the domain value immediately as well, because there is a page going with it, there is a domain going with it. You can also share your affiliate link so that people can import that page as well. So you're sharing multiple things at the same time. It's just not just only a domain. So it actually makes sense to build out these kind of pages, not only for practice for yourself, but to actually use it for selling domains. And a lot of people do, and a lot of people are making money. This is not something that I would suggest you to focus on for like for living from the money from domain sales. There are certainly players that do so, but it's like day trading. In case you go into it, it's like immediately when a domain becomes available, then you purchase it, you buy it, you try to buy it, sell it for a bigger amount of money and things like this. But let's just not focus on that one. Let's just focus on how to build a really nice, really simple, really professional looking page using GroovePages. Okay, let me just show you what we will be building out today. So I need to just reload over here and press the preview button so that you can see. And it just doesn't work. Let me just have a look. Okay, so this is the page. Here we go. Very simple, very organized. As you can see, it is in the middle of the screen. Wherever you go, it doesn't scroll anywhere up and down. And as you can see, I'm doing this on the free account. I decided let's just do something with a free account. It works the same as the paid accounts, but it actually works. And I will also show you how you can create this type of a background, which looks great, and it can be created very, very simply and very quickly. And yeah, like we can do hover effects. I didn't do it because this site was created by myself in 10 minutes. And I had a different version of it that I was just not very happy. And this was with a kind of a footer, as you can see. But when you preview it, the footer is not on the bottom of the page. So I just said, okay, let's leave it out. But it works well as well. In case you don't have a huge screen like me, in case you're previewing it from a normal type of a screen, it is working well and it is previewed well. But I just didn't want it. I thought it's too much information, but this can be created in just a couple of minutes. So I believe this is a simpler version, and this is what I will be showing you how to create. So let's just have a look who is with us today, and let's just see who is here to follow this simple build. Let's just see. Ilya in the house. Keisha Fox is here saying, hey, man. Ilya is saying, hey, David. Ellen watching us on YouTube. Stephen is here saying, hello, David and everyone. Gary is saying, howdy. Eric Strickland is here. Watch the video. Okay, so I believe he tagged somebody to watch the video. Ellen is watching us on Facebook as well. Paul Jones saying, nice to see you, David. Nice to see you, Paul. Giselle saying hello. Karen is here. Hi, David Lemon. Hi, all. Keisha Fox already asking for the questions. When you say purchase the domain, are you trying to say get it from Namecheap? You get it for a year or two, right? Yes. So basically, what I did is I found Luxuria.com on Namecheap. I purchased it for $8, and I purchased it for multiple years, so that even if I don't sell it immediately, then I don't have to pay like more and more and more and more. I just pay everything in advance, and it is cheaper that way. But for everybody that owns domains, that wants to get rid of them, it is pretty simple to do. Like, you set up a page like this, you set up a contact form, which we will create together. I didn't do it for this example now, but we will do it that they show up in a pop-up, and that people can fill out these details. They can do an offer. So it will be like name, email, make your offer. They can put in any text over there, and when they send it using Zapier, I would be connecting it with Zapier at this moment, but once GrooveMail comes out, you can just automate this with GrooveMail, and you receive an email to your email address XY, like the Anna Banana, with an email anna@banana.com, offered you $600 something for your domain, things like this. So this is how you can create a page like this and automate it with a form so that you receive these notifications. But yeah, selling domains is a pretty nice business, and a lot of people make money from it. Groove Treasure TV, great to see you, David. Appreciate you. Thank you very much. Brad Case, hello. To all, please, no questions in the first 30 minutes today. Please put a Q in front of your questions so David can find your questions from all other posts. Correct. So I will be going through this build quite quickly. I believe we can do this in an hour or less than an hour, and then we can focus more on questions. And I want to show you, I want to go through how to make it mobile responsive. I didn't do it yet. As you can see, it doesn't look nice, but I left it out so that we can do it together. Okay. There are certain things that happen, as you can see here, and I want to show you how to fix those. Anela, Mataya, hey David, James C saying hello, Vivesh is here, and I have a Facebook user that is still showing up as a Facebook user. So in case this is you, please head over to streamyard.com/Facebook. This will actually allow me to see your name, to see your profile image, so then when you comment, I can see your name and I can reply to you personally. So streamyard.com/Facebook. Okay, let's just see. It is a great business. Absolutely. Kenneth saying it's a great business. And I was doing this as a hobby, and I suggest you, in case you like these type of thing, you purchase something and try to sell it for a bigger price. As a hobby, selling domains is quite good money that you can do. And I like this. I like, oh my God, this domain, this could sell. And there's like things like that. And like seeing what kind of domains sell for what prices is like the mind-blowing. And for example, you can think of a domain that would not be selling, like for example, I own the domain easy peasy lemon squeezy. Of course I own that domain, and if I would go and sell it, it would sell probably for a lot of money. I am not selling that one because I keep it for myself, but easypeasylemonsqueezy.com is mine. So yeah. Actually, hosting our domain name is available. Yes, you can do that. Mobin Zaman, hello David and all. Perfect. So, okay, Kenneth is saying I made 7 figures in the past. Absolutely. That is a very good business though. So how to actually start selling your domain. I will just go through a theory and then I will continue with the build. So whenever you purchase a domain through GoDaddy, Namecheap, or something like that, so any other domain registrar, you can do that. You can connect your domain with GroovePages, and this everybody knows how to do. The free accounts will be able to have 3 domains connected, and the paid accounts will have unlimited number of domains to be connected with this page or with this account. So let's say you have 50 domains and you want to sell 50 domains. With a platinum account, with a premium account, you can create unlimited number of these pages. You can connect unlimited number of these domains, and basically you can connect all the 50 domains to point to these sites, and you can just sell these through GroovePages. It's pretty quick, and even if you don't go like setting up product, which is your domain, in GrooveSell, and then having the payment done through GrooveSell, you can just create a form where what we will do in a moment, we will create a form where we will allow the visitors to the page to actually put in an offer, so that we can contact them and we can actually agree on them transferring the money or purchasing the domain for you. But that's how it would be done. It's a very simple page, and I believe we are now ready to go start building it out, and we'll just start from scratch. Okay, so I will leave this one over here so that we can refer back to it, but I will just go and create a new page or a new site. As you can see, I'm on a free account. So this can be done with a free account or a paid account. The difference is that you can do 3 sites, which is, this is 1 site. You can do 2 more on a free account, or you can do unlimited sites on a paid account. So let's just create a new site. Easy peasy lemon squeezy, love it. Absolutely. So blank template. And this is where we will be starting out. So as I mentioned, I'm creating this simple video so that everybody can start following how to create custom-made pages using GroovePages. So we will not be using templates. If you don't need this knowledge, you don't have to watch this, but I highly suggest, because we will be learning how to pull in custom elements, custom things, and making them look nice on the page. So this is now an empty canvas. We will click blocks. We will go to wireframes. As you can see here, we can just choose the pre-designed blocks, and I don't want that. I want to start from scratch. I don't want anything to be in there, and I will just click empty and just pull in this empty container. Okay, so now that we have that one, we can click over here and put a background image. I'll just put a background color. I will just put a color first, then later on I will show you how to create this type of a triangle shaped background image, which looks great, and you can use that in a moment. But for now, we'll just use a black background. Okay, so now we have the background, and this is our empty container. What I want to do is I want to say, okay, so I want this block to be 100% of the viewable height. And I didn't click anywhere else. I have still the block selected. Let me just zoom in so that people can see better. Okay, you see when I zoom in, then I need to actually scroll left or right so that I can see my whole page, but doesn't matter. So I have my block selected. Over here you can see it as well. If we scroll down to the size, and if we go to height, choose it relative to page, and if you slide all the way to the end, you will have 100 VH. This is 100% viewable height. And now if we scroll out, you can see that the page is 100%. So it is filling the complete height of the screen. If we go to a laptop, it is still filling it out. And on the mobile, it is still filling out the 100% of the height. So that's the first step that we needed to do. Then the next step is actually making the container 100% of viewable height, because we want let's just show you here. We want this one to be in the middle. So as you probably know, or if you don't know, there will be a lemon drop for it, or there is a lemon drop for it. Centering and aligning things on the page is done within a container. So if I want to say, okay, every time somebody loads in this page, I want the text to be in the middle, okay? The vertically in the middle, so not horizontally in the middle, but vertically. I want it to be centered always this way, okay? So not aligned to the top, not aligned to the bottom, but I want it to be centered. Now this aligning of the elements, aligning of things on the page is done inside a container. So to do this, we need to make the container 100% viewable height as well. So I just clicked over here where it says this is an empty container, and I click over here to size, and we just repeat what we did previously. Height relative to the page, and we use the slider to go all the way 100%. So now the block, which is the black background, and also the container is basically 100% of the viewable height. So whenever we load it on a mobile, it is 100% of the viewable height. If we load it on here or here or here or anywhere else, it will be staying on it will be visible 100% of the height. But now, as you can see, this container is aligned to the top. Now we want to align it towards the middle so that we can see the text always in the middle and not on the top of the page, okay? So that we do inside the container. So you need to make sure that you have the container chosen, and here as well. Then the next thing is go to layout and just click this one, okay? Now you can see that it immediately came towards the middle. So wherever we preview it now, it will be staying in the middle, and we can not scroll up and down. Once we close this one, as you can see, it doesn't allow me to scroll up and down because it is 100% of the viewable height. It doesn't allow us to go up or down because it is like fixed to the center now. This is what we wanted to achieve, and this has been now done. So the next thing is to actually pull in the text element, a paragraph or the heading, paragraph text and just 2 buttons. I believe we can achieve that, and let's just do by starting with a container, because we now resize this container to be big. We need a separate container which will be smaller. Okay, so what we do is just pull in a container over here, and then inside this container, as you can see, container is now in a container, which is the big container. So the small container is in the big container. In here, we pull in the heading. Okay, and then immediately we need to click and change it to white so that we can see it like that. Here is our heading. We will pull in a paragraph, okay, just below the heading, and we will click on it and also make it white so that we can see it. And then, as you remember, we have 2 buttons. So I will just pull in 1 button and then we modify it and then we will duplicate it, okay? And that I do over here. Let's just go a bit lower. So here is solid button. I just pull that below my text, okay? And then I'll just remove the background and put a border around it immediately so that we know that this is our button. Let's just put 3 pixels of borders. I did a bit fast. I will do it one more time with you guys just so that you can follow. So now this is everything we need on the page. This will be our page. It looks great. We cannot scroll anywhere. So I'm trying to scroll. It doesn't allow me because now it is 100% of the viewable height, but we still have this container, the small container where we placed all our elements, is placed straight in the middle, in the center of it. So that's basically it. Now, when we start styling it, I would like to show you a trick how I created this background image, and then we will be styling the rest, like the heading, the paragraph text, and then the buttons. This is very simple to do, so this is why I want to leave it for later on. But to create this type of a background, I'm using something that is called trianglify.io. Okay, so trianglify.io, I will pop it in here, and you can simply use it. This is a free tool which you can create a lot of different things with it, and I found a way to use it for a background which looks very nice if you use the same colors that matches your brand colors, or black or white. Okay, so as you can see in my example over here, I have like a dark, like a black triangles, a brighter gray and darker gray triangles, and it did this kind of a style, which looks kind of great. So Trianglify is a tool where you can create all kinds of patterns, like you can increase the pattern intensity, triangle variance. You can see you can create all kinds of different things, and you can also increase and decrease the cell size. So in case you want to create something like that, it is possible. And then you can play with this, create different type of patterns using it, and you can make it intense or not intense. You can do shadows, you can do gradient, and then play with it. As you can see, it looks very nice. If you want, you can also choose different colors. It immediately shifts the colors, immediately does all kinds of things. So you can create all kinds of patterns. You can also create a random pattern, like randomize. It will be using the color code that you chose. You can do black and white. You can do all kinds of different things, and then play with it this way. Triangle variance. Let's just distort it a bit and do, for example, that. But this is using a color palette. You can also choose custom colors. In case you have your own colors, you can do your custom colors as well. You just click over here and then you choose, okay, so instead of this one, I want to have black, okay, and it shows you how it will be looking like. Then instead of yellow, I actually want kind of a grayish color. Instead of this green, I want a bit darker gray. Instead of this green, I want more darker gray. And instead of this one, I want black. Okay, so now you can add on colors, you can remove colors in case you don't want this one, in case you don't want this one. You can add on multiple things, and it is actually a fun play with tool that you can use for a lot of different stuff. In my case, I was using it for the background, but you can use this as a mock-up, or you can use this as a design for a t-shirt or things like this. If you want, you can export it, and you would need to pay for a high resolution SVG or a PNG. You can share the shareable link or download a low resolution file. This is a low resolution file which you can use, and it looks like this. And it is not very high quality, because when you zoom in you see all the pixels and things like this. But what I found is that if you just do this, and then you on Windows you can just type in snipping tool, and if you create a screenshot of it or something like that, you can use it in a bit higher quality. It is not, I don't know if this is legal or not, but I don't believe so. But $4 for something like this, I don't think this makes sense. If you want, you can just use the low res quality. You can also do a screenshot of it. That's what I did on my end. I'm not feeling proud, but it works. And if it is not very visible in the back, but it still gives a bit of depth. It still looks better than just a blank black background. So let's just do my custom color, and I will show you exactly what I did. So instead of these colors, I just chose, on the first one and the last one I chose black, and in the middle I just chose different gray type gray shades like that. Okay, so I just clicked save palette, and it gave me immediately the pattern over here. Then you can create their different cell size. You can do triangle variants in case you want, and pattern intensity as you wish. Let's just leave it like that. And then I did the thing that I'm not suggesting you should do, but it can be done because they allowed it. Snipping tool, create a new snippet of this one over here. Oops, I didn't do it. My mouse is bugging out, so let's just do a new one like that, and then I just save this. Okay, and we're ready to use it. So when we are back inside GroovePages, we can click on the block, because as you remember, we put the background color, the black color, onto the block. So we can just go back. We need to make sure we chose the block. We go into the background, choose image, and we just upload the image over here. Okay, so you can click over here and just choose the image that you stole, that you purchased, guys, and you have it now uploaded. In case you don't want it so big, you can resize it. Just put it on 1000. It will also decrease the size of it, and there we go. The content is saved. And now, as we had the background color, we cannot see the background image yet, but we click on the color and we just slide this transparency slider a bit backwards, and now we can see the pattern appearing in the background, as you can see it over here. So you can play with it how dark you want it. I believe 60% is looking great, but but yeah, now we have, it is covering, because the background is set up to cover the everything over here. It will be covering on each of the devices that we preview it on. So then we can just type in the text for sale, and then let's just type this in. Let's just paste it, and there we go. So now we can resize the text. I clicked Control A to select both of these. In case you would just stay on this one, as you can see, it will give you only the option to resize one of them. But in case you click somewhere on the text and click Control A, this is to select all, then you can resize both of the items or all of your text items at the same time. So then I will just resize them this way. 6 rem is looking good on a desktop device, and basically that's it for the first part. Okay, Now this one was done. I will copy over this text just to make it a bit faster to create the page. I will double click on the, or actually triple click on the paragraph text, and I'll just paste that in and press the backspace button one time so that we delete the space that was put below it. And here we are missing an L button. Here we go. So now this has been chosen, and as you can see, there is a bit of space between, and this one is bolded and this one is just a normal text. So let's just do that. I want to move this away a bit from my heading, so I click on the first part of the paragraph, and I just move it using the red how do we call it, drag handle. Then this one, I just selected the lower part of the paragraph text, and I selected all, and I just click this B button. This is for bolding, okay, for creating bold text. As you can see now, it is different than the upper text. And I will also make it a bit bigger, just so that the price is showing up a bit bigger. And the next step is to using the red drag handle. You can just pull this down a bit so that it is not too close to each other. There we go. Basically, we have the first part and the second part done. Now the next part is just to work on the button. Let me just read something quickly from Keisha. A statement: building along with you. Worth nothing for newbies. The importance of reading the breadcrumbs at the bottom of the screen to know which container you're on. If you make sure you're on a child container first before pulling in each element, heading, paragraph, and button elements, you'll get the result you want. My elements kept going into the parent container until I did this. Absolutely. So you just make sure that you know where you want to place your items. And when you say a parent element, parent container, so this is an element and this is its parent. It is basically it's like a container that is holding the text. Okay, so this is why we call it a parent. It is taking care of the element inside it. So let's just continue with our build. I want to move the button a bit lower using the red drag handle, like that. And instead of button, I just want to say more details. Like that. And the button background came back, so let's just get rid of it. Here we go. More details, and we can just click on this button and duplicate it. Then we have a button that pops just next to it. Using the red drag handle, again, we click it and we move it away just a little bit so that they are not touching each other, not together. And then on this one, I want to have a background which will be yellow, like that. And I want to select the text to be black. And also I want the text to be a bit bold, like semi-bold, like that. And I don't want any borders. Now I set up the borders previously very quickly, so I'll show you how I did it. So over here, I don't want any borders. Okay, like that. And over here, I will show you what I did with the button. So actually, I'll just delete it and start from scratch, like that. So when we pulled in a button, it had a text that was saying button, and then I quickly did it. I didn't figure it. I just do things sometimes. So when we click on the border and we go over here, this is to have border all around the whole thing. Okay, so around the whole button. This is to have border, just a line on the top. This is to have the line only on the bottom. This is on the left, and this is on the right. So if we choose to have a border around the whole button, and if we choose how thick the border should be, and this is in 1 pixel, 2 pixel, 3 pixel, and so on, I just choose 3 pixel for this one. I didn't have a specified reason why. I just chose it and saw how it looks. And I chose the border color. Then I had this. Okay, then it looked like that. So the next thing was I removed the background by clicking on the background of the button and clicking this X. Then it gets rid of the yellow color. But the next step is to actually put the text color to be white. So then you can see the button is showing up as an outline and only the text. And it is a very good look, and I love this one. I love using like filled boxes for the filled buttons that for the things that I want people to action on, like buy now, or in this case, make an offer. And then the outline buttons for the things that are not as important, but still we want to give them an option. So the highlighted into your face button need to be the call to action you want the user to take, the visitor to take, and then the outlined button is the like a side action that you want them to take. So now when we click out, you can see that the more details button is a bit higher than the make offer button. This is because we added on 3 pixels on the bottom, 3 pixels on the top, using the border. So it's like 6 pixels wider. But what we can do is we can go into spacing, and we can just add on 5 pixels just to make it similar size. Okay. And because make an offer button, I want it to be a bit bigger, I will also add on left and right spacing so that it is a bit wider like that, because this is the action I want them to take. So make an offer, more details. These are my buttons. I'll just type in this with make an offer with bold, so that it, or not bold, caps lock or uppercase letters, so that it is more important. Okay. But basically that is it. You can also do like the domain in a different color, like for example, yellow. If you want, I'll just leave it in white because I believe that looks better. But if we save, that's our page. This is something that you can use to, and you can create this fairly quickly. And let's just have a look how it looks like now. Bam. As you can see, we have the beautiful background that we borrowed, and then the text element over here, the paragraph text that we edited, the 2 buttons that we can style even further. So let's just do a bit more with these buttons. Let's just add on a hover effect. So for the hover effect is when you hover over with your cursor, with your mouse, then it does a certain action. And then I will choose this outlined button first, click on hover, and then I will put a background to be white. Okay. And then the text to be black. So the normal button is outlined, but now as we set up the hover effect, when we hover it, you can see it turns the background is set up to white and the text is set up to black so that we can see it. So this is a hover effect. We can do a hover effect on this one as well. Let's just do let's just click on this button, click hover, and let's just do a different color yellow. Let's just do this one. Nah, it's ugly. Let's just do, it's not enough. Yeah, let's just do this color. Okay. Apply. Perfect. So now we have a hover effect on this color as well. You can do different things with it, like you can apply shadows in case in case somebody hovers something. You can apply borders on it in case you want, but I'll just leave it like that. So now we have a bit of animation when somebody hovers over these buttons. Let's save and let's go to do a pop-up. If somebody clicks the make an offer, I want there to be a pop-up which collects the user information and the offer price. So let's just click the pop-up, create new pop-up, and we'll just keep it standard, and we'll just name it offer or domain offer. It doesn't matter, it's just for yourself. The pop-up name will not be seen by the users. Okay, so on which page the pop-up appears, we only have one, so it will be home. And the type of the pop-up, you can do standard, which will be activated using a button. You can do an entry, which will be a pop-up that shows immediately after somebody loaded in the page, or you can do an exit pop-up, which will appear in case somebody wants to leave the page. So then this pop-up will show up. I will just leave it on standard because I want that to be activated by a button. Okay, so there is loads of these templates you can choose from, and for this case, I believe this template would work best. And I can close the pop-up details and start working on the pop-up. So if I want, I can just type in here, make an offer at below, offer below. Okay, so you can put an explanation, whatever you want. Make an offer between like $1 to $3 and $4 in order to main. Here we go. It doesn't look good. We probably want to do an emoji or something like that, or just leave it out and keep it professional. But yeah, why would I? Let's just make it a bit closer like that. And now, as you can see here, we already have a form that was built out. So we have an email and subscribe button, but we want a couple more fields. So we want a name field, we want an email field, and we want a price, offer price field. So we don't have to reinvent the wheel. We can just click on this field and duplicate it 1, 2 more times. So the first one will be for name, okay, or full name. Okay, and we are asking for the name. Name. Okay. Here we go. Then the second will be your email. And then the third one will be your price offer. Update. There we go. Full name, your email, your price offer. And then we can, instead of subscribe, we can just type in submit the offer. Here we go. Awesome. So it doesn't look particularly exciting, so let's just design it. We can do a background of a black, and let's just do a bit of a transparency. Yeah, kind of like that. And then make the font white. This one as well. White. And then the button, we want to choose the yellow because this is an action we want them to take. And then the text, we will choose the black text because this is how we had it on the previous button. Submit the offer. Now you can play with these input fields. If you want, you can have different type of colors. I'll just put it in a bit of brighter gray and leave it as it is, or maybe white. I don't know why it is. I was in the text, so we can just choose this one. Yeah, this color is looking nice, so I'll just leave it. And we can do rounded borders, rounded corners. Sorry, this one, let's just do 35 if you want. It doesn't have to. Let's just see how it looks like. Yeah, let's just leave it out. There we go. So let's just change the background color on this one as well, and on this one as well. There we go. So we have finished. And now if you want to connect it, you just click over here between these form fields. You click on this. Now you have selected the form container. The form container is used as the managing container. This is the manager of what these input fields will do, because somebody needs to say, okay, this is a name, this is a this is that, but actually what is used, what will you do with these fields? So this is what the form container does. It manages what happens next. So if you chose the form container, then you can click on the configure button, and in the integration you can choose Zapier, you can use MailChimp, you can use later on GrooveMail. I believe GrooveMail will be also one of these integration, but it will also have a simple way to integrate not only with the form container but with different elements. But yes, this is where you choose what you want it to be, what you want it to do. And after you chose an integration, you can select what you want to do with these people. Like somebody filled out this offer, made an offer to you, and now you want to send them somewhere. You can send them to a different page, you can send them to an URL, you can send them a different pop-up, which is like maybe another domain, or like, did you see our new domain, da 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 da, or you can just transfer them to a different page where you're selling another domain, or this is where you decide what you want to do with them. And then once you click update, it will now remember the settings. I'm just seeing here that we left out one piece of text that we didn't make white, and basically this is it. Very important, guys, when you do something like that, when you do a pop-up, make sure it looks great on smaller devices as well. As you can see here, the text is quite small, but here inside the form fields it's big. So I would click on the tablet. So I was here, I clicked on the tablet. I will click again to edit this device, but I will click again so that I edit this device and all the smaller devices. Okay, so I'm here in this form field, and I will just make the font a bit smaller so that it is not so big. Like that, 1 rem. Make this one smaller as well, 1 rem, and then this one as well, 1 rem. Here we go. The button we can leave to be big, and then let's just have a look how it looks like now on the mobile devices as well. It looks great, and I believe we can leave it as it is because it is what we want. Save and exit. And now the next thing is important. Don't forget to do it. When you want a button to open a pop-up, you actually need to connect the button to open a pop-up. So you need to click on the button, click configure, and here link to, we want to click on it and choose pop-up. We only have one pop-up, which is our domain offer. If you remember, we created it together, and then just click update, then save. Okay, so that's basically it. So let's just test it out. So this is our page. When we click the button, there is a pop-up, and now we can put in our details, and we can just click to submit the offer. What we didn't make sure that the last one, your offer price. Okay, we actually want this color to be here, but the text, I'm not quite sure why is it giving us this white color now, but let's just put the background color back to black, 60%, like that. Not quite sure why this happens. I believe this would need to be looked at. But okay, let's just work with it. If we want to actually modify this container, we are asking for the price. So here, input name will be price. Okay, and we want to add a validation rule and make sure that the text is put in. Okay, so we are asking for text. Over here, we can make sure that the validation rule is an email, so that our form will automatically check if there is an email typed in or not. Have a look. When I press the update button, then this actually disappears. So over here, we add a validation for text, update, and then save. Perfect. So that is now sorted. The more details, you can send them somewhere else. You can send them on a blog post that you have, or you can send them on your website, or you can actually create a separate page for the details if you don't want them to be on the same page. But I will not be showing how to create the more details page. I will just show you how to make it now mobile responsive. We are approaching a 15 minutes mark because I'm just talking nonsense. And yes, so now we have text, we have buttons, and we want them to be actually I want to move this button closer to the edge like that, maybe a bit back like that, so that they are all starting on the same point, so they're all lined up here next to the left hand side. Yes, so if you remember yesterday, if you were there on the lemonade session, I was talking that every element needs to be set up as we want it. So for this for sale, I want it to be left aligned. Okay, so I click the left aligned. The lemonade, I also want it to be left aligned. This one, I want it to be left aligned. This one as well. And the buttons, we don't need to left align because they are already left aligned. However, we want to make sure that we set it up to be left aligned. So as you can see, this is the container that is holding our buttons, and it will probably break now. Yes, so this is not the setting we need. Layout, let's just vertical, left align. Okay, now it pops them just to be next to each other. So we tried that one, and that is not the setting we need. So what we will do is actually choose the elements and pull in a new container which will hold only our buttons, because we want them to be left aligned. Otherwise we cannot work with them, because on these ones we want it left align, and on the mobile we want it center align. And if we actually click the center align, it will be aligning them in the center on these ones as well. I don't want to demonstrate it, but I want to do it right for the first time. Okay, so we'll click on the on this button. Okay, so we don't have I'll just pull the one button in, I'll pull in the second button over here, and this container we want to be left aligned this way. So now we actually have everything aligned. As you can see, this container is aligning everything to the left hand side, this is aligned to the left, this is aligned to the left, and everything else. So when we go and make the screen smaller, we need to work a bit with text sizing. This one we want a bit smaller, like that. But then it looks great. When we close this, we cannot scroll anywhere left or right, but I believe this is a bit too close to the border, so we can add on some padding towards to the container. Okay, so I will click the spacing, and I will click on the right hand side and add on a bit of padding, like 2 rem. However, I made a mistake, or it was not a huge mistake, because it doesn't. We need to choose the screen we work with. So you need to click one more time to work with the device that you want. Now this is not a problem because I didn't do anything major changes, but it will matter when you come to these three. Okay, so now on my laptop it looks great. Over here I still want to have the bigger font. I want it to be 6. So on a desktop device I have the font 6. Over here I have the font 4.5. Over here you can see that it is still too big, and we now have a too big of a gap on here. So let's just work with that. I want to choose the container only on this device, and using the spacing I want to just move it back a bit like that. And now I can just resize this text a bit smaller, and also the for sale is shouting too much, and I believe it is too big. So that's the thing that I changed, and now it looks great. So let's just check now. This device is looking this way. This device is looking this way. this device is looking this way. But now is the fun part. As you see over here, we set up that we want everything to the left, and this needs to be done. But over here and over here, I want to center everything in the middle. So I don't want anything to be in the left-hand side. I want everything to be in the center. So what I can do is I can select the vertical tablet and the mobile phone and just click one more time. So both of them are chosen. Okay. So now I can click on the for sale and I can click center. I can click on lemondomain.com and center it, but it is looking a bit too big. So I will just resize it like that. And also this one. And also I can click on this, center it, click on this, center it. And if you remember, we pulled in our buttons in their separate container. We can just click layout and make them centered. So now this is centered, but these ones are not because we set them up right from the first time. Okay, so you can see we set them up to be left aligned. And over here, we now set these two up to be center aligned. What we need to do is just remove this padding so that it is not pushed out so much. So I can click over here, click one more time so that we choose this device and the smaller device, and go to the container and remove the 2 rem of padding. Like that. You can see that now we still need, because this text is touching the borders of the page. So I can click left and right padding and then just increase it a bit, like 0.25. So now both of them have changed, but on a mobile, I still need a little bit more work. As you can see here, the size of this one is too big. The size of this one is too big. And I also want a bit more padding, more space between the borders of the page and the text. So I selected the container that is holding all my elements, click spacing left and right padding, and just increase it a little bit more. Okay, so I believe this looks good now. And yes, let's just click save and let's just test. So basics of responsiveness. You have to set everything up as you want it to show up. So in case you want this to show up on the left-hand side, you have to set it up, because if you don't set it up, then problems will happen. So as you remember, we set this up on left, this one on left, this one is set up to show up on the left. The same thing over here, the same thing over here. But on this device, it is set up to be on the middle and everything else. So the texts are in the middle, and over here we set up everything to be also in the middle and not left. So this is what I mean by everything needs to be set up. So now if we actually save and preview, we can also have a look at the responsiveness of the whole thing, which is done with this way. So this is our mobile device. If I make it bigger, now this is our tablet device. If I make it a bit bigger, as you can see, immediately it says, it comes to the left-hand side, that we know that this is a horizontal tablet view already. And this is a laptop view. And this is a desktop view. And if we make it big again, it actually stays. So let's do it again. Let's do it backwards. This is desktop view. This is a laptop view. This is a horizontal tablet view. This is a vertical tablet view. You can see it immediately centered. And this is a vertical or mobile view, like that. So these are the basics of responsiveness, and it is really simple. If people have issues with it, it's just because they don't set things up right to be left aligned, center aligned. When you do responsiveness, there are 3 things, I believe: sizing, spacing, and positioning. This is the 3 things you need to be aware of when you're doing responsive sites. Everything else, the content, if you change the content, let's just do it over here. So if you, for example, only have this one, but you want sales, this is now changing the content. This is completely different. You cannot have one one of the pages, one of the devices to change sales, but the rest to be sale, because this is changing the content. And you can see that the content is changed, that shows up on all of the pages. Okay, so that is very important. So sizing, spacing, positioning, these are the elements that change in the responsiveness, and also colors and things like, for example, I want only on a mobile device to have a red background like that. And now I changed only that on the mobile device. If I come back over here, it didn't change because I only had that one mobile device chosen. Okay, so as I said, spacing, alignment, and sizing, and also colors. So colors don't change. This is not changing the content. This is changing the way the content is shown up. So let's just say on this device, I want the lemondomain.com to be blue. Okay, so now I set it up to be blue. Over here it's not blue because we didn't set it up. Over here it's not blue. Over here is blue because we set it up. Here it is not, and here we have a red button. So as you can see, these are the factors. Actually, I missed at the beginning. There's 4. That's 3. There's 4. Sizing, spacing, alignment, and colors. These can be changed in responsiveness. Content, it cannot be changed. So in case you want laptop, but on a laptop you want to have an image somewhere here, this is adding on content. So this is going to be appearing on all the devices, as you can see. So there is a lot of people saying that the responsiveness is not working. It is working, and it is working really good. As you can see, it is just, you need to like play with it a bit, and you need to understand it. And this is why I recorded this video, and we are now at the 1 hour mark, and I said we will be finished with 1 hour mark, and we actually did. I believe you can learn a lot by doing this video. So in case you have doubts or you need to exercise a bit more, please do this video again from scratch. I really tried to explain everything in detail. And in case you want to exercise mobile responsiveness, please start with this video. It has 1 block, 2 text elements, and 2 buttons, and it is really simple to set it up. So try to play with this one first. So yes, I also wanted to give this away as a bonus. So I'll be exporting this code from the mobile responsive site. I want you to be able to use it. However, I want you to be able to create this yourself and really go in and exercise, because this is the best way to learn. So I'll just actually do it in front of you so that I don't forget. So I will type in Notepad. I'll paste the code in. I will save it as a domain for sale. Okay. Here we go. And I will upload that into Dropbox type of thing and share the code with you immediately, so that you can use it immediately. There we go. So this is the link. You can now come over here. You can just click this download and you can start using it. Here you go, YouTube peeps. There we go, Facebook peeps. And that is basically it. So guys, thank you very much for watching this one. And as you can see, I created this one on the free accounts. So this can be done in free accounts. This can be done on paid accounts. It doesn't matter. It is universal. You can do it on any account. You just need to play with it. You need to learn how to play with the responsiveness settings, and once you actually understand it, then it will be very easy to use this software and not get frustrated. But yes, let me just scroll through all the comments so that I can see what you peeps were talking about. But there you go. Can you add template about domain sale? Yes, I just did. David, nice job. The presentations are improving. Oh, thank you very much. I was not aware that it was bad, but I'm glad that it's improving. I'm sending more web designers and agencies to GroovePage and presentations. Absolutely. Thank you very much for that. This site has triangle background to download for free. You won't have to have the ability to play with the patterns, but it has quite a few selections. I'm not affiliated with them. Vecteezy, free vector triangle patterns. Okay, perfect. Thank you very much for that, Giselle. Selling domains, awesome topic. Thank you very much, Simon. Today I learned how to edit properties for just one device type. That is very good, Zach. Zach actually had his page on our last show and tell, and he will be able to use the responsiveness that he learned either in this video or from other videos. He'll be able to apply it on his website, and I cannot wait to see your site, Zach, next time. Great. I guess even on the bigger screens, buttons would work better in the center. Absolutely. You can do whatever you choose. I just wanted to have a differentiated, like everything is left and on a mobile it is centered, but you can do whatever you would like. There is a question from Roshan. Sir, what about the database for form data where we have to store? Can you give me some idea? So in case you are collecting the things from this form, at this moment you can forward them using this API. Once GrooveMail comes out, you will be able to receive these details to your own email address. At this point, we don't have that feature yet built in, but very soon, in just a couple of days, we'll have GrooveMail, and then it will be much easier to do everything here. Question from Paul: is it possible to have different text on mobile that does not show on the other device, like a headline, for example? Paul, that is possible, but then you need to use a different technique, not just to change the text on here. As I showed you, you cannot change the content, but there is another video which is talking about changing and I will show you here. So hiding. So in this video, I actually go through everything that I want my whole site to have the normal text, but only on one device. I want to have something else added on. Then you need to actually put it there, but hide it on separate devices. So on mobile to not show, well, on mobile to show, but on all other devices not to show. So this is done with a different technique, which is hiding elements on different screen sizes. So you can do that, but changing content, as I showed you previously, you cannot do it so that on one device it's like this, on the other device it's like that, because it is in the code of the website. It loads in just the code and it shows up the content that you changed. But in case you create two versions, one for one device, and then you hide this element on the other device, then this can be working. So hiding elements on different screen sizes is what you would like to learn. Awesome training. Thank you, David Lemon. No problem. Whoop, whoop. Search team SEO. Can you explain a little bit about that? So for the SEO, head over to either our support desk, which is support.groovedigital.com. You can search here SEO. You can learn about the SEO. There is a basics of SEO principles. This is a video I created about SEO. This is where you can learn about that. It is basically a YouTube video. You can also search in YouTube from the Groove Digital. If you type in SEO, you will be able to find this one, basic SEO principles. So this is what I suggest. There is a complete full video on the SEO, and I will not diving into it in this one. What a great feature, being able to change the format for each device. Absolutely. And people like it, but people don't understand it, so they think it's broken, and you can send them this video and show them that it is not. Thanks, man. This is awesome. Thank you. This is so simple. Thank you, David. It has come at the right time. Can you please quickly repeat how to connect with Zapier? So Mobin, I created a video for Zapier. I created an in-depth tutorial of setting up Zapier, but I will just quickly show you over here as well. So when we created the form inside the pop-ups, so we created the name, the name field, the email field, and the price field. You just click somewhere between. Let's just see why the button is not showing up properly. Where the button thing has changed. Let's just click the update button. Maybe it pops back. No, it's okay. The form field is here. When we set up the form fields, we click between, and then here is where you set up your integration. If you don't have your integration showing up over here, then you need to actually go click in the upper right hand corner, my integration. In here, you need to add the integration. You can add on all kinds of different things like Zapier, Perxy, Lamotic, MailChimp, all kinds of different things. Zapier is the one that you would need to use to send customers' information to your email address. And in the video which I showed you here, setting up Zapier to automate your forms, in that video I actually showed you how to do that. So please visit this one. It will explain you everything. Darcy, please drop link of video further describing how to use layout primary and secondary. I've searched but haven't found. I'm still confused about primary, secondary. Okay. Yes, I will. How to publish your page? You click the publish button. Very simple. So when you come over here, you click the publish button. You can choose to host the site with us. So you then click here and then choose the name. For example, it will be your subdomain, groovepages.com, and then like domain. Hit publish, and then now it has been published once the green box comes up. There we go. So when you click on this one, you can see that it is applicants.groovepages.com/domain. There we go. In case you want to use your own custom domain, then you can just type it in here and then follow one of the guides that we created either in the Groove Digital Academy on YouTube. Just type in domain. The best thing is to search here in the support team, a support desk, a help desk. If you just type in domain, you can find a lot of information for publishing domain with Namecheap, publishing a domain with GoDaddy, and so on. So this is my suggestion. If you want, you can also have a 1-hour full guide which brings you step by step on how to purchase your domain, how to go connect it with Cloudflare and connect it with GroovePages. I also learned optimization for all devices now. Absolutely. Thank you very much for watching. One of the most important questions: how do I do this domain selling business if I'm a newbie at this? That would require a better, a more in-depth video on that one. But I suggest just search on YouTube. There are videos that explained it more in depth. How to find domains, how to sell the domains. What I just showed you is just an example of a site for selling domains. Is this video going to be available in the training material? Yes, absolutely. And you will also find it here in our help desk on YouTube, in the Groove Digital Academy, and everywhere. Thanks, sir. No problem. You are very welcome. So guys, this is now 1 hour and 12 minutes. We finished with the build. I answered the questions. You learned how to create a site. You learned how to make it mobile responsive. You learned how to create a pop-up with a form, and you learned how to fill this form. So I would like to thank you for participating. Thank you for watching. And in case you find somebody in the group that says that the responsiveness is not working or it is frustrating, please just send them this video. This is the best way to learn, by trying out and watching these types of videos. If you learn the principles, if you learn the theory, you can apply it again and again and again, and it will not be a problem. So I just also wanted to invite you tonight for the mini State of Groovion, which I posted an image about it in a Facebook group. There is a post that looks like this, and you need to actually click the register button. This will be a meeting you don't want to miss. Whenever Mike does a training or Mike does a webinar, you want to be there. This is like Christmas that comes early, because he talks about things that are coming, and he always spills some very important information that he didn't want to share. and the users are just getting more and more and more and more. And in case you want to learn if your investment paid out, I mean, it did, but you will be getting more things. And on these webinars, Mike usually spills the beans of what is coming. So make sure you register, make sure you find that post, just type in the State of Groovian in the search in the Facebook group, register, make sure you're there. There's a limited number of seats and you really need to be there. So with that said, thank you very much one more time for watching, and hopefully see you tonight on the State of Groovian.